Okay, I think we should start. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us quickly recall what we did last time. So we have derived nth derivative of the function 1 upon x square plus a square. Okay, and that is in terms of sine and cosine. Uh, so nth derivative is minus 1 raised to n factorial sine of n plus 1 theta, then sine raised to n plus 1 theta upon a raised to n plus 2. Then we have seen that if function is tan inverse x by a, then using same formula you can derive nth derivative as minus 1 raised to n minus 1, n minus 1 factorial, sine n theta, sine raised to n theta upon a raised to n, where theta is tan inverse a by x. Using this, we have seen some problems by substitution, and most of the time substitution will be x is equal to tan phi. Okay, because we know nth derivative of tan inverse x by a, therefore most of the time substitution will be x is equal to tan phi. Then these were the homework on it. Then at the end we have started with Leibniz theorem, which is useful to find nth derivative of product of two function. Okay, so if y is u into v, then its nth derivative is nc0 unv plus nc1 un minus 1 v1 plus nc2 un minus 2 v2 and so on, ncn uvn. Okay, where suffixes denotes derivative, order of derivative. All right, and this ncr are the binomial coefficients. So nc0 is 1, nc1 is n, nc2 is n into n minus 1 upon 2 factorial, nc3 is n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 upon 3 factorial, and so on. Okay, and we observe that selection of u and v is important. V should be the function whose derivative vanishes earlier than u. Okay, so and we consider these two problems, x square e raised to x and x cube cos x. Okay, uh, now we'll go to the problems like this: y is equal to sine inverse x upon under root 1 minus x square. Then show that this y2 into 1 minus x square minus 3x y1 minus y equal to 0, and hence prove that this following statement. Okay, any doubts so far? We'll see solution of this example. Before that, do you have any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, all right. So let us go to this third example. Y is equal to sine inverse x into upon root of 1 minus x square. What do you expect? What we should do? How to proceed further? Anybody?
So you can put x is equal to sine theta.
Will that help us?
Because then we will get 1 minus x square will get converted to cos square theta, and then we'll get theta sec theta. And differentiating that, we can eliminate theta part of the of that function with the Leibniz theorem.
But you don't know nth derivative of sine inverse x, no? If you substitute x is equal to sine theta, somewhere you will have to take nth derivative of sine inverse x, right?
Yes, sir.
And which we don't know. And we don't know nth derivative of sine inverse x. Okay. So if you look at previous question papers, you will find certain problems like this. Let us go to the solution. Okay. So I'll first of all transfer this square root to right hand side. Okay, that's what my first step, because I don't want to apply quotient rule, u by v rule. Okay, so keep in mind, whenever you have a rational function p by q, you transfer this denominator to left hand side. So that will become under root y minus x square into under root 1 minus x square into y equal to sine inverse x. Now you have two choices. You can differentiate this expression directly, or you can get rid of this square root. Okay, choice is yours. You can directly differentiate. So ma'am has squared on both sides. So if you square on both sides, it will be 1 minus x square into y square equal to sine inverse x bracket square. Okay. Now, if you look at this expression contains y2, okay, second order derivative. So, I'll differentiate this once with respect to x. So, y is function of x, 1 minus x square is function of x. So, apply product rule. So, 1 minus x square as it is, derivative of y square is 2y y1 plus y square as it is, derivative of 1 minus x square is minus 2x. Okay, is equal to derivative of sine inverse x bracket square is 2 sine inverse x into bracket derivative of sine inverse x, which is 1 upon under root 1
Sir,
minus x square.
sir, I
Yeah.
wanted to ask, sir, because you are writing derivatives, sir, why are we writing y1, y2, y3? It should be y dash 1 or y dash 2, or any derivative should be d square n upon dy power n, right?
Yeah, we denote this thing in the beginning. Okay, we are going to write y1, y2, y3 for the derivatives. We have declared them.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So is this step clear? Differentiation step?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
What about others?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now if you observe, so sine inverse x upon under root 1 minus x square. Okay. This term is nothing but y. Right? Sine inverse x upon under root 1 minus x square is y. So you write that as y. So this step will become 1 minus x square into 2y y1 minus 2x y square equal to 2y. Okay, so you can see that 2y is everywhere, so you can cancel it out. So what will remain is 1 minus x square, this 2y will get cancelled, so y1 will remain, minus x and 1y will remain, so minus xy equal to 1. Is this step clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now you have got expression containing first derivative. Okay. But what I want is expression having second order derivative. So what you will have to do is you will have to differentiate this expression one more time. Okay. Keep in mind, you will have to simplify the derivatives as much as you can. Okay. Meaning hereby, if you don't put this 2 sine inverse x upon under root 1 minus x square as 2y, this expression will be the huge expression. Okay, and you are going to differentiate it one more time, which will be difficult for you, because that will become u by v rule. Okay, you will have to apply u by v rule. So you will have to look at, or you will have to observe the things wherever you can simplify, you should do it. All right. So differentiating one more time. So y1 is function of x, 1 minus x square is also function of x. So you will have to apply product rule. So 1 minus x square as it is, derivative of y1 is y2 minus y1 as it is, derivative of 1 minus x square is minus 2x. Therefore, this minus sign is there. Minus, again, x into y, there is product. So apply product rule. So x into derivative of y is y1 minus y as it is, derivative of x is 1 equal to 0. Okay, and if you collect the terms, so 1 minus x square into y2, this minus 2x y1 minus x y1 will become 3x y1 and minus y equal to 0. Any doubt up to this step?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
No, sir.
Okay, all right. Now the last point, how do we obtain this 1 minus x square y n plus 2 minus 2n plus 3 x y n plus 1 minus n plus 1 bracket square y n equal to 0? Any smart answer? Anybody?
So can you please repeat the question?
How up to this step everything is fine, I guess. We have obtained this y2 1 minus x square minus 3x y1 minus y equal to 0. My question is how to get this 1 minus x square and n plus 2 derivative, n plus 1 derivative, yn equal to 0. Yes, anybody?
Sir, we take y to the other side and find out the n derivative of both sides.
Y, I mean, y is already given to you, and y, what you said is,
So in the equation given there, we take y to the other side
okay,
and then find out the n derivative for both sides.
how to take nth derivative on both
By
sides?
Leibniz rule, we take 1 and y.
Okay, where to apply Leibniz theorem? Can you tell me? If you take this y to this side, it will become y2 into 1 minus x square minus 3x y1 equal to y. Okay, then?
So because the derivative of y2 into x square will be the part required for minus for 2n plus 3x into n plus 1.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, for the y2 into 1 minus x square, if we apply Leibniz rule, then we will be able to get the solution.
Good, very good. What about others? Do you understand what he said?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
See, if you observe this expression, there are n plus 2 derivatives and here n plus 1 derivatives, and this is nth derivative. All right. Now, what we have is expression containing second derivative, first derivative, and y. Now, if I consider this as a product of two functions, observe this first term, that is y2 into 1 minus x square. If I observe this term and if I apply Leibniz theorem to this term, so Leibniz theorem is taking nth derivative of product of these two functions. So two derivatives are already there and n more derivatives. So it will become n plus 2 derivatives likewise. Okay, and here also if you apply Leibniz theorem for this second term, this first derivative is already there, n more derivatives, so that will become n plus 1 derivatives and then yn. Okay, so let us go to the final part. So we have 1 minus x square into y2 minus 3x y1 minus y equal to 0. Okay, so differentiate this third equation n times using Leibniz theorem. Okay, Now you concentrate on first part. Okay, 1 minus x square into y2. Tell me u and v.
So V is 1 minus x square.
V is 1 minus x square and u is y2. All right? Fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So NC0 UN V. So NC0 is 1. Nth derivative of u. So u is y2. What is nth derivative of y2? Y n plus 2, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah. And v as it is 1 minus x square plus NC1. What is NC1?
N.
N. Okay. U n minus 1. N minus 1 derivative of u. So u is y2. What is n minus 1 derivative of y2? Yes. This step is important because it has some weightage in exam also.
Y n plus 1.
Okay. N minus 1 derivative of y2 is y n plus 1 into first derivative of v. What is it? Minus 2x. Okay. First two terms are clear?
Sir, can you explain
Yes,
the
sir.
second term again?
Okay. What is NC1? See, first term is NC0, V as it is, nth derivative of u. So y2 is u, so its nth derivative is n plus 2 because there are already two derivatives and we are taking n more derivatives. So total derivatives of y are n plus 2 plus NC1, binomial coefficient NC1 is n. Okay. N minus 1 derivative of u. So two derivatives are there plus n minus 1 more derivatives. So 2 plus n minus 1 are n plus 1 derivatives into first derivative of v, which is minus 2x. Fine?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. What about others? First two terms are clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Fine. Plus NC2. NC2 is n into n minus 1 upon 2 factorial. N minus 2 derivative of u. Okay. So n minus 2 plus 2. So that becomes yn into v2. V2 is second derivative of v. So first derivative is minus 2x. Second derivative is minus 2. Okay. Third step is clear?
Yes,
Third
sir.
term? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now go to this next term. By the way, what will be next term for this first expression? There is constant 2. So derivative of 2 will be 0. So you will have to stop there. So let us go to this second term. So minus 3 out. Tell me u and v. Tell me u and v for second term.
Minus 3x and y1.
Don't take that minus 3 into calculation because it is constant in multiplication, no? So don't
V
consider
that-
it in. So what is u and what is v?
Sir, u we can take as y1 and v as x.
Right. So u is y1 and v is x. Okay. So apply Leibniz theorem for this x into y1. So NC0, that is 1. Nth derivative of u. So one derivative is already there plus n more derivatives. So y n plus 1 into v as it is, that is x, plus NC1. NC1 is n u n minus 1. Okay, n minus 1 derivative of u. So this one derivative plus n minus 1 more derivative. So 1 plus n minus 1, that becomes yn into first derivative of v. Derivative of x is 1. So, and there you can stop because next derivative will be 0. Is this term clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Others, please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Fine. Minus yn. Okay. Nth derivative of y is yn equal to 0. Now, last part is just collecting the coefficients correctly. 1 minus x square yn plus 2 as it is. Collect the coefficient of yn plus 1. Okay. So here it is 2nx. Okay. And here it is minus 3x. Collect the coefficients of yn plus 1. Here it is minus 2nx. Here it is minus 3x. So you can check that this coefficient is minus of 2n plus 3 times x into yn plus 1. Fine? Is this fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now collect the coefficients of yn correctly. So here it is n square minus n. Okay. Here n square minus n. Then here it is 3n. And here it is 1. And from everything you can take minus sign out. Okay. Here it is minus n square plus n. Here it is minus 3n. And here it is minus 1. You can take minus out. So you will have n square minus n plus 3n plus 1 times yn equal to 0. Fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about others? Is this last term is
Yes, sir.
okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So 1 minus x square into yn plus 2 minus 2n plus 3x yn plus 1 minus this minus n plus 3n becomes 2n and that bracket is nothing but n plus 1 bracket square. Okay. So that's what we want. Okay. Have you copied? This carries 5 marks in your term and exam. If it is subjective question, then it has 5 marks ka weightage and distribution is 2 plus 3. Okay. Up to this step, 2 marks are there and then this whole calculation carries 3 marks.
So for midterm or end term?
Midterm, term and wherever this example there, then it will be for 4 to 5 marks.
Sir, maths will be also in MCQ form this midterm, no?
I really don't know
Okay, sir.
because no decision has been taken on this.
Sir, can you scroll up a bit?
Yeah. Copy it fast. I'll give you 2-3 minutes to write. Can I scroll down?
Yes, sir.
One example is there in tutorial on this Leibniz theorem of this kind. Finished? Can we go to next example?
Yes, sir.
Others, please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you want to try, or anyway, will we go to this solution? So if y is e raised to a sine inverse x, then prove that 1 minus x square y n plus 2 minus 2n plus 1 times x into yn plus 1 minus n square plus a square yn equal to 0. Okay. Can you tell me how you are going to deal with this? Yes, anybody?
Sir, can we take log on both sides?
Yes, you can take, but I'll suggest you, but don't do that,
Okay.
because derivative of e raised to a sine inverse x is e raised to a sine inverse x into derivative of a sine inverse x, right? Isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
e
sir.
raised to a sine inverse x is y. That thing you can use to reduce
Okay,
your
okay.
calculation.
Okay, okay.
Hmm. Can you give me idea how will you proceed
So
immediately?
since we have to use Leibniz rule, it shows later what we have to prove in that. So we'll have to take first derivative so that we'll have some function to use the Leibniz rule with, along
Only
with e
first
raised to-
derivative. Only first derivative will suffice the requirement. Observe the highest order derivative in this expression. It is n plus 2, isn't it?
Yes, sir. So once we take the first derivative, then we can apply Leibniz rule when we get two functions on one side.
Then if you apply Leibniz rule to the expression containing first derivative only, then at max you will get n plus 1 derivative, right?
Okay, right.
So what I said is, observe the highest order derivative in the expression.
Okay, then
Okay.
we'll take the second derivative and then apply Leibniz rule.
Okay, and this is going to happen every time. Okay, most of the time, because you'll have, yeah, then you take first derivative and then apply.
Yes.
Yes. So what I said is, you observe the highest order derivative in the expression, and accordingly you decide how many times you have to actually differentiate the expression. All right. So here the highest order derivative is n plus 2. That means you will have to take two derivatives and then apply Leibniz rule. Is that fine? Please respond. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So let us go to the solution. Y is e raised to a sine inverse x. Take first derivative. So derivative of e raised to a sine inverse x is e raised to a sine inverse x into derivative of a sine inverse x, which is a upon under root 1 minus x square. Okay. Now, as I said, simplify the expression as much as you can. So you can observe that e raised to a sine inverse x is nothing but your y. Okay, ma'am has forgot to write a here. It is e raised to a sine inverse x. Okay, so that is y. So y1 is equal to ay upon under root 1 minus x square. Okay, so bring this square root to left hand side. It will become y1 into under root 1 minus x square equal to ay. Now you can differentiate this directly, or you can get rid of this square root if you want. So squaring on both sides, This will become y1 square into 1 minus x square equal to a square y square. So now you have expression containing first derivative. So we want y2 in picture. So let us differentiate this one more time, okay, and apply product rule. So 1 minus x square as it is, the derivative of y1 square is 2y1 y2 plus y1 square as it is, derivative of this bracket is minus 2x, okay, equal to this a square as it is, derivative of y square is 2y y1. Okay, now what is common everywhere? 2y1 is there in each term, which you can cancel. So it becomes y2 into 1 minus x square minus x y1 equal to a square y. Any doubt up to this step? Just note it down.
No, sir.
Copy it fast. Have you copied example on previous page? Yes? अरे बोलो. Have you copied example?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So write down up to this step, then we'll take nth derivative. Finished? Yes? Have you finished up to this step?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you have this y2 into 1 minus x square minus xy1 equal to a square y. Okay. Now you differentiate each term n times using Leibniz theorem. Okay. So tell me u and v for first term.
Sir, in the first term, u will be y2 and v will be 1 minus x square.
Yes. Right. So u is y2 and v is 1 minus x square. Our selection of v is such that whose derivative vanishes earlier. So you can check that 1 minus x square ka third derivative will be 0. So nc0, that is 1 into nth derivative of u. So 2 derivative plus n more derivative. So y n plus 2 into v, that is 1 minus x square, plus nc1, that is n. Okay, nc1 is n minus 1 derivative of u. So n minus 1 derivative plus 2 derivative. So n minus 1 plus 2, that becomes n plus 1. So y n plus 1 into first derivative of v, which is minus 2x. Okay, plus nc2, that is n into n minus 1 upon 2 factorial, which is 2, into n minus 2 derivative of u. So n minus 2 plus 2, that is yn, into second derivative of v, which is minus 2. Is this fine? First bracket.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. बाकी लोग?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Then we'll go to next term. This minus as it is. So apply Leibniz rule to this product. Y1 is function and then x is also another function. So u is y1, v is x. So nc0, that is 1. Then nth derivative of u, so n plus 1, and v as it is. So x as it is. Plus nc1, that is n. Then n minus 1 derivative of u. So n minus 1 and plus this one, that becomes yn, into first derivative of v, that is 1. Okay. And there you stop, equal to a square yn. Okay. Equal to a square yn. This is not there. Huh? Equal to 0 is not there. So if you collect the coefficients correctly, 1 minus x square into yn plus 2, then collect the coefficient of yn plus 1. So here it is minus 2nx and here it is minus x. So which becomes minus of 2n plus 1 into x. Then you collect the coefficients of yn. Okay. So here it is n square minus n minus 2 times. Then this minus n and minus a square. If you collect them correctly, you will get n square plus a square times yn equal to 0. All right. So just write it down, these two lines.
Sir, are you going to share this PDF today?
I have already shared, I guess. Yesterday only. Isn't it?
Yes, sir. You've shared it.
Finished? Have you finished?
Yes, sir.
No, sir. Yes, sir.
No? Okay. Somebody said no. By the time you can try this first example, do you want to try or can we go to the next topic?
Sir, will try.
Okay. Please do it in 5 minutes so that we can at least start our next topic. We are a bit slow. If y is equal to cos of m into log x, then show that x square into y n plus 2 plus 2n plus 1 into x y n plus 1 plus m square plus n square y n equal to 0. Okay.
Sir, we will differentiate as it is, no?
Yes, yes. So its first derivative will be minus sign into bracket m log x outside bracket m by x, isn't it?
So
Yes.
we take x to the other side, differentiate for 2 times, then we get x square y2 plus xy1 plus n square y equal to 0, and then we find n derivative.
Right, right, right.
Done, sir.
Okay. What about others?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Done. Okay, good. Uh, what about this second one? Don't start immediately. Just tell me how you are going to deal with this second one. X is function of t, y is also function of t, and then you have asked to prove this expression. What exactly you are supposed to do? Anyone?
Sir, first differentiate x in terms of t and y in terms of t.
Hmm. Then
Sir, then we can do it as the same way as we did earlier.
no.
First, we
So
should
we have
try
to form a
to
relation between
express
Sir,
x
y
and
in
y.
terms of
we
x.
have to then divide dy by dx.
Relation
Sir, then
between x and y.
Yeah, good.
yes, sir.
We should get relation between x and y. That means we should eliminate t. Okay. Now, how to eliminate? I'll leave it to you. You should get y in terms of x. Okay, that is your target. You should get y in terms of x, or you should get relation between x and y where there is no t, and then you can take first derivative, then second derivative, and then nth derivative. Okay, this is the idea. Eliminate t. All right, so with this our successive differentiation ends, and we are in position to start series expansion. Okay, so let me just explain what is series expansion, and then we'll stop there. So as I said in beginning, that whatever series you have used, or whatever series expansion of some standard function such as sin x, cos x, e raised to x, or e raised to minus x, you people have used to find out limit of some complicated example. Those series are the Maclaurin series. Okay. Question was how to get that series. Okay, so Maclaurin's theorem states that if f of x is a differentiable function, okay, of course, n time differentiable function, then its series expansion in ascending powers of x, okay, is given by f of 0 plus x into f dash at 0 plus x square upon 2 factorial f double dash at 0 plus x cube upon 3 factorial third derivative at 0, and so on, x raised to n upon n factorial nth derivative at 0. Okay, and this series expansion of function f of x is called as Maclaurin series expansion. Okay, so just note it down. Maclaurin series expansion of function about 0. Please note that function has to be n time differentiable. Okay. Meaning hereby, if I take 1 by x, and if I try to find out its a series about 0, I won't get it. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So then how will we find of E, like the series of E?
Series of e, no? Yeah. Let
Yeah.
us find out series of e raised to x, and then substitute x is equal to 1, no?
Yes, x is equal to 0, right?
No, x is equal to 1. You want series of e, no? E raised to
Yes.
1, that means. So you are
Okay.
putting x is equal to 1, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
But sir, I already know the expansion
Of which function?
e power x.
E to power x. How do we get that? That we are studying.
Yes, sir.
You already know series of e raised to x. What is it? What is it?
One plus x upon one. 1 plus x upon 1 factorial plus x square by 2 factorial plus x cube by 3 factorial and so on.
Okay. So this is the theorem which gives you that series. Okay. As of now, you were knowing it as a formula, right?
Yes, sir.
Now this is the theorem which gives you that expression. So let us find out some standard series. So find series of sine x. So to find out series of sine x, what we should know is f of 0, f dash 0, f double dash 0, third derivative at 0, and so on. Okay. At least first few terms we should find. So f of x is sine x, f of 0 is 0, derivative is cos x, so its value at 0 is 1. Second derivative is minus sine x, its value at 0 is 0. Third derivative is minus cos x, its value at 0 is minus 1. Then fourth derivative is sine x, its value at 0 is 0. Okay. Now you substitute these values here. Okay. F of 0 plus x f dash 0 plus x square by 2 factorial f double dash 0 and so on. Okay, so what it will be? 0 plus x into 1, that is x, plus x square by 2 factorial f double dash at 0, which is 0. So out of these first three terms, there is only x. Then x cube by 3 factorial f triple dash at 0, which is minus 1. So this fourth term is minus x cube by 3 factorial. So what we have is x minus x cube by 3 factorial. Can you tell me next term for sin x? Yes.
X raised to 5 upon 5 factorial.
X to the power
Good,
5
good.
by 5 factorial.
So x minus x cube by 3 factorial plus x raised to 5 upon 5 factorial and so on. Okay. So this is the series x minus x cube by 3 factorial plus x raised to 5 by 5 factorial minus x raised to 7 by 7 factorial and so. Okay. So this is series expansion of sin x about 0. Okay. So with this we'll stop. I hope you have put up your name and roll number in chat box. Okay. May I stop sharing?
Sir, this will be also there.
No. This series expansion won't be there in tutorial. We'll continue with this next time, probably on Saturday. May I stop sharing?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you have mentioned your name and roll number, you can leave this meeting.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.